Hey guys, this video is for my classes fall 2017. Specifically, this applies to my STAT 1800 group, my STAT 1150, and my Math 1170. Most of what I'm going to tell you is the same for all the classes. There's going to be a few bits and pieces of information that may be different for your particular class that I'll point out. But guys, for the most part, it's pretty much all the same. Now, let's talk about the final exam, and that's the purpose. Now, I notice a lot of you have. It seems like you start watching a video, and I either bore you to tears or you just don't have the persistence and patience to watch it completely through. Guys, I can't tell you how important it is for you to watch this through, because if there's any misunderstanding and you send me one of those emails, say, well, I didn't know that. I'm going to say, well, I put up a video and it's your responsibility to watch all the videos, and I'm just going to get stubborn as can be. So we don't want that. Guys, believe it or not, and I hope you believe this by now, I want to give good grades. I don't like anything lower than C's. And luckily, right now it looks like we're going to accomplish a lot of that. All right, let's get to the focus of this video. It was previously reported that you would take your final exam on Wednesday, December the 13th, and you would have a 24-hour period. That has changed. For reasons that I'm not going to go into, you are required to have your exam proctored by an online proctoring company called ProctorU. Now, typically this service is $21 for the first hour, and I think it's $11 for each additional hour. So for a 2-hour exam, it would be $32. I've worked out a deal with ProctorU where there's going to be no charge to the students for this. It's kind of a pilot. I didn't realize that there were things going on. I'm not going to go into all this, but 19 out of 20 of you, or maybe even more than that, are doing it the right way. But unfortunately, I have evidence to show that there's a lot of students that aren't doing it the right way in terms of hiring companies and letting other students do their work for them. So, guys, it's just what it came to. I've talked to the dean. I've talked to the dean of students. I've talked to the provost. We're not going to tolerate it. And unfortunately, those of you that are doing it the right way are have to participate in this. So, but guys, it is what it is. So this is what's going to happen. So anyway, ProctorU has allowed me to extend the dates and times for you to set up your tests. So guys, for Wednesday, December 13th, you can schedule your exam anytime between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Guys, you got to be done by 8 p.m. Doesn't mean you can start at 8 p.m. So if you think you'll need 2 hours, you need to start your exam at 6 p.m. on December the 13th. They are also allowing us on Thursday, December the 14th, to schedule exams from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, you must be done by 6 p.m. Or you can schedule your exam on Friday, December the 15th, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, you have to be done by 4 p.m. So one of the things I want to focus on in this video is show you how to go to ProctorU and how to set up an account. Guys, these folks know what they're doing. They're used to dealing with students with varying abilities and technology. So they've set this up to where I have no doubt my 13-year-old daughter could easily go in and set up an account and take a test on ProctorU. It's that easy. Now, the first step in using ProctorU is to register. Well, actually, set up an account. So create an account. And the second is register for your time period. So for the 2-hour time period that you want to take your exam in the times listed above. Once you do this, I am going to give you 5 additional points on your final exam. So guys, you get a 95 and you've done this, they'll give you 100. It's required. You got to take your exam through ProctorU. So guys, it's a no-brainer. Everyone, if you do what you're expected to do, you can expect to get 5 additional points on your final exam. All right, so that's a Merry Christmas from Dr. Darbro. Now, guys, I got a lot of stuff to cover. So now, let's say that you don't, the equipment, I'll go over that in just a second. What equipment is required? We got to have a computer. That's required anyway. It was in your syllabus. You got to have a reliable internet connection. That's required anyway. It was in your syllabus. But you have to have a webcam. If you don't have a webcam, you can go to Walmart. Somebody told me you can buy them for $10. I hear on eBay you can even buy them for $5 and $3.99. And you can also borrow. You could borrow a laptop from someone. Nevertheless, if you just can't arrange this, I'm going to offer 15 on-campus sessions. Now, each session has availability for only one person. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to come to my office. There's a vacant office across the hall from mine that has a Mac computer with a webcam, and it's going to be set up for ProctorU. You can go in and specify the 2-hour time block that you want based on first come, first serve. Those times are Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to noon, noon to 2 p.m., 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Guys, on Thursday, you can do the 8 to 10, 10 to noon, noon to 2, 2 to 4, or 4 to 6. And on Friday, you can do the 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, or 2 p.m. session. If I corrected, if I counted correctly, there are 15 slots here for 15 students. If you come to campus and do this, you don't get your 5 extra points. The 5 extra points is to encourage you to use the remote proctoring service that ProctorU has provided to you and the Shawnee State University is paying for. But you know, if you just ask around and you can't borrow a laptop for a couple hours, if you can't borrow a webcam, you just can't work it out to where you just can't take it remotely, then send me an email and say, Dr. Darber, I'm in your 1150 class. I want the 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And if no one has that slot, I'll put you there for that, and you can come in and take your exam. Let's see. And guys, this is going to be in what's called ADM 114. So again, it's the office right across the hall from me. But guys, I encourage you, set up an account. Well, you got to set up an account even if you do it this way. But set up an account, register for the time, and just take it remotely. It's much easier. Now, I think there's also computers around that maybe in the library and maybe different places on campus. You know, these things, just ask around. Ask your friends if you can borrow their computer. So there are ways to handle this. Guys, it's such an important video, and I want to make sure I don't forget anything. All right, once you go to ProctorU and once you set up your account and you're ready to take your exam, what do you get? Well, I've told them that I am allowing 2 pages of notes, front and back. So guys, you can write really, really small and get a whole lot of information on 2 pages of notes. Now, you'll have to show this to your proctor. They'll take a picture of it. You'll have to show your ID. You have to do all sorts of stuff. But in terms of the notes, they know that you're allowed to use that, but you have to show front and back of your notes just to make sure there's Nothing wacky going on. And I regret that it's come to this, but just some of the insanity that's gone on this semester is just really, really just, well, left me speechless, obvious. If you're in 1800 to 1150, you get access to StatCrunch. I've told them that you can have 2 tabs open with StatCrunch. So if you need 1 tab open with StatCrunch to use the calculator, and then if you hit a problem where there's a data set and you click open in StatCrunch, it'll open in a second tab. So you're allowed 2 tabs of StatCrunch. And guys, for those of you taking 1170, the finite math, you're allowed to use your calculator, either TI-84, 83, or 82. Let's see, what else? Guys, calculator. You're allowed to use a scientific calculator, but you're not allowed to use your cell phone. It's something that ProctorU kind of, I told them I was okay with it. They laid down the foot and said, no, we don't allow cell phones. So, guys, you'll have to use a calculator other than your cell phone. And, you know, in a best case scenario, I wish that I had known that there would be people cheating the way that they have, and I could have addressed all of this at the beginning of the semester. But you know, this is just information that's it's blindsided me. I got to tell you, it's completely blindsided me. The things that I've found out have been going on from a few people. All right, let's talk about preparing for the final exam before we get into the ProctorU stuff more. All of you, and these are 4 credit, and I'm pretty sure for all of you it'll be assignment number 16, and this will be your study guide for the final exam. Now, my goal on the study guide was to select a group of problems that are going to be very similar to what you're going to encounter on your final exam. You know, there's a lot of material, especially for you guys taking 1800. The amount of material in that class is absolutely insane. But, you know, it's a 5-hour course, so you have to expect that. But it's a lot of material. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to, you know, kind of take all the material that we've talked about this semester, you know, get it down to a manageable subset and give you an indication of what you need to study to be successful in your final exam. 1150 and 1170, you might argue, well, we've had a lot of stuff too, and you know, you have, but and the same thing applies here. Take all the material that we've looked at, trying to get it down to a manageable subset to get you guys prepared for the final. Guys, you know, I stick by what I said and what I always say. I want you guys to be successful. I want you to get this behind you. And you know, a lot of you have done what I've asked you to do. Watch the video. Some of you haven't. We'll see how that goes. But you know, most of you, I've been really impressed with the way you've handled the class. Now, one more thing about the final exam. Remember that for the midterm and the final, that I have a policy that if you, for example, just bomb the midterm and you get a higher grade on the final, then you can come in and replace the lower midterm score with the higher final exam score. It doesn't work in reverse. If it did, people would get a decent score on the midterm, they just quit. And if they got a 0 on the final, then they just replace. Okay, that's not the way it works. It works backwards. So if you got a lower score on the midterm than the final, I will replace your midterm score with the final again if this is lower. So not only is your final exam a large chunk of your final grade, it can be even a larger chunk if you scored poorly on the midterm. I have one guy in one of these classes who had some stuff going on, and he didn't take the midterm. So you know, whatever he gets for the final will go in both places. So anyway. That's what's going on with that. So, guys, let me check my notes, make sure that there's nothing else. Oh, yeah, there is one more thing. With ProctorU, again, this is the proctoring service. You have to set up your account and be registered for your exam 72 hours before testing. If you don't do that, you're not getting your 5 points. In fact, you're not taking your final exam. So just to be safe, let's just say by Saturday, December the 9th at 11 p.m., you should be have your account set up with ProctorU, and you should be registered for the time segment that you want. Now, guys, back to this online, I'm sorry, on campus stuff. If you, for example, want to test from noon to 2 on Wednesday, you need to get that time confirmed from me before you set up your testing window with ProctorU. So, guys, this is something you need to get on very quickly. All right, I think I've covered everything. Let's talk a little bit about this ProctorU. I'm excited about it. It's just what we've come to. And I don't know why my Twitter account came up, but it did. So I sent an email to, this one was to STAT1800. It was the same email to 1150 and the same email to 1170 because I just copy and pasted it. So there's a link right here, how to create an account. So if you click that, something should come up. All right, there it is. So we have our own Shawnee State University page. So the very first thing you're going to do is not log in, but sign up. Now, once you sign up, the one thing I love about ProctorU is all of the resources that they have. Once you sign up, you're going to come here to schedule your exam. You can even watch a demo. I don't know how long it is. I think it's pretty brief to see how the testing environment what it'll look like. And you've even got an exam prep. The exam prep allows you to go on and make sure that your computer, your webcam, your internet connection is working for you to take your prep. Because guys, if you get to the exam testing window and you haven't done all this and you're not prepared, they're still going to charge the university, and you don't get another chance to set another testing window. So guys, make sure you're prepared. But anyway, let's sign up. So I'm not going to let them know where I am. So you're a test taker. Shawnee State University, select campus. Really, there's nothing to select there. First name, last name. Select a username. Provide an email address. Establish a password. And confirm your password. Guys, your time zone is Eastern. So you will come to U.S. Eastern time. You want to contact, so either give a mobile, your phone home, or your work phone. Set up your address, and you need to take a picture. Now, I'm using a document camera here, but when I'm not using that, if I have my webcam on, it will take a picture of me. So take a snapshot, and it will, so right here, you got to enable webcam. So do that and take a snapshot and send it. So there's some, terms and conditions. Man, I'll tell you what, they keep a close eye on you, and they are so good at detecting, like, we piloted this for our graduate courses in the midterm, and I get a report on every student. And the things that they report and notice is insane. So, click that box, you agree to the proctoring, and create an account. Now, once you've created the account, let's go back to ProctorU. And you're going to log in. And once you log in, let me open it back where I was. Once you log in, you're going to be ready to schedule your exam. So we go to Schedule Exam. Once you have an account, log in with your username and password, and it's going to give you the time options to set up your exam. So guys, lots of really good material. Again, you've watched this video, you're still a little confused. Go to your Blackboard site, guys. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to go to STAT1800. Go to Content, and somewhere down there you're going to see a content folder with ProctorU information. First one is getting started with ProctorU, and the next one is after you've enrolled, test out your system. So let's look at this one first. All right, so sign up early. Again, need to have your exam scheduled at least 72 hours in advance. Check your webcam and microphone because they're going to talk to you. Get Google Chrome. That's the recommended browser. I hear that Mozilla Firefox works also. But guys, just go ahead and get Google Chrome. It's easy to get. And use a wired connection. Yeah, if I had a dependable wireless connection, but anyway, they say use a wired connection. And test your system. So guys, you can test it out. And finally, once you get ready to take your exam, find a quiet, private location. There's a pre-exam checklist. It's going to tell you everything that you're going to need before you take your exam. If you have any questions, guys, if something doesn't work, you can go to this live chat. They're right there waiting to answer your questions. So come on through. It gives you indication more about ProctorU and a help system. So camera check, microphone check, port check, bandwidth check, flash check, operating system, make sure it's supported. If it's not, connect to a live person, and it's absolutely free, and they will help you with technical issues. Guys, there's no need at all to contact me if there's technical issues, because I have absolutely zero input or zero control over ProctorU's technical aspects. So once you get that, once you get this done, you can go back to Blackboard, go to ProctorU, and you can download this document that runs you through actually how to test your system and make sure you are prepared to take your exam once it gets here. Guys, again, my grad students did a satisfaction survey. I think there were like 17 students who used this. They had nothing but great things to say about it. You know, said it wasn't creepy. There wasn't anything to be concerned about, and they appreciated that they didn't have to drive to campus. So that's ultimately a part of the advantage of having something like this as well. So guys, hopefully you know by now that I check email quite regularly, not as much on weekends, but you know, from now until Friday, Saturday, I'll check it regularly. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do the best to accommodate you. But the best thing is, you know, just try to find an environment. Let someone borrow your computer, or I'm sorry, try to get someone to let you borrow their computer. Borrow a laptop with a webcam built in, and you know, just do some preparations and prepare for this this test. and prepare for the test. Do the assignment number 16, and so spend some time on that. So guys, no instructional videos. They would be redundant at this point. I've already told you and taught you what I want you to learn. If I were to explain it to you again, I would explain it to you exactly the way I taught it in the video. So you can always go back. You've been instructed to keep a notebook and keep times and video numbers. So at this stage of the semester, if you need help, for example, you 1170 folks, if you need help on linear programming, then you know what week and what videos to go look that up. So it's a great thing about the online courses compared to the face-to-face. You can't go back and replay my lectures if you take me face-to-face, but you can in the online format. So guys, I'm done. That's all I got. No sneaky quiz. In case you're just hanging around thinking that one of those might pop up, they're not. So guys, study hard, get prepared, get your account set up through ProctorU, and don't hesitate to contact me if you have questions. So take care.